Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Erica here. Today I am getting my dashboards and vellum ready for my Estelle B6 rings. I think it's a B6 rings hybrid. It's what it's called. So I bought some art on Etsy. I think the name of the store was Cool Art Studio. And I bought New Year's theme art. I figured I am going to do it for the month of January, and then I'll probably change it up for February. I'm not sure if I'm just going to do it month to month for the whole year, or maybe just for the first couple of months and then switch it up to quarterly maybe, or seasonal. I'm not sure. So I'm still trying to work that out. But here I have printed some champagne glasses and the word January as well as 2022 on this vellum. And you'll see the January 2022 in black ink. I did print that on my laser printer, so I can go ahead and foil that, and I'll show you that later on. And I'm just cutting down this vellum right now. It needs to be, I think it's supposed to be 5.3 by 7, but I believe I cut everything down to 5 by 7, which you'll see later on was fine. It's not really that big of a difference. And I think I've learned at this point that perfection when you're cutting papers, or at least for me, is probably not going to be a thing. So I struggle with this paper trimmer. I don't know, maybe it's because it wasn't a super expensive one, or if the blade is dulling. I'm not really sure, but getting it straight onto that board is so difficult. And then cutting a straight line is so difficult as well. It seems straight and then you bring the handle down and yet pieces are missing, or not missing, or uneven. So it is just so annoying. If you see, I kind of printed the wording and things more, well, not in this one, but in the champagne one, and then the ones moving forward more towards the left side of the paper. And that's because I didn't want it right up against, or more towards the right side of the paper, sorry. I didn't want it right up against that left side because I have to punch holes, and I didn't want to risk punching holes on the design itself. So if you see me here, I'm just again trimming this down to the right size. 5 by 7 is what I end up trimming everything down to, as I just mentioned. Here are some fireworks that I printed on vellum, and then in the black ink it says "This is my year" with a heart, and again I will foil that in a bit here with gold foil. Gold is what I chose. If you can see, that's kind of the color that's throughout the artwork. I really enjoyed creating these. This isn't my first time making dashboards and vellum. I've done them in the past. I've never done a whole setup though, and I really enjoyed doing this. I've learned some things. There's some things I'd probably change. If you want to see that whole process of once purchasing and downloading the art, how I decide and put things together from the art, please let me know in the comments down below and give this video a like, and I will definitely film that. So, you know, while I'm just cutting these down to size, let's talk a little bit about my absence. So, I have not uploaded in a hot minute. I want to say it's probably been well over a year. The biggest reason for me, really, the pandemic hit, and it was kind of hard to get into many things, but planning for sure, just because there weren't many plans. I pretty much worked the whole entire time throughout the pandemic, most days going right into work, some days I did not. I worked from home, but really that's what my what my days consisted of working home. So, I mean, I didn't really have plans. This last, 6 months or so, as things started to open up, I live in New York, so we were like shut down. As things started to open up, I did do some more things. I did some traveling. I went to visit family in Florida. I went to EDC Orlando in November with my husband, which was something on our bucket list. So we were excited that we were finally able to do that. I had to travel for personal reasons, some things that happened in my family. So I did do some traveling, I did do some things, but again, I wasn't really planning. There wasn't a whole lot going on. This year, so 2022, things are at this point in time just about back to normal, at least for my household. My husband's at work full time. My kids are both at school in person full time. School meaning, if you haven't heard or watched any of my other videos, I have two children. One is in her second year of law school, and my son is in his second/third year of his undergrad. So they are both in person and back at college. There's stuff going on with them as well. And I am starting to do more, so getting back into planning is really a necessity for me at this point to make sure that I'm meeting, my work obligations, my personal obligations, and things like that, and also to just kind of know when my husband's on call or working late, or when I have other plans aside from just work. So here we are getting back into things. It's really been tough. I enjoyed sitting down and planning. Really, it's relaxing for me. And, sitting down and turning the camera on doesn't really add anything because it's just me sitting here doing what I would normally do, and that's planning. So hopefully, fingers crossed, my plan is to get back into both planning and how-to tutorial videos. I had some ideas, again, if you wanted to see these, like I mentioned, creating dashboards and vellums for setups. I plan on doing that, or I'd like to show you that if you're interested. Foiling these and going through that process. I know one of the most watched videos on my channel is how to foil acetate, and so now we have more to that. We can foil vellum and our dashboards, things like that as well. So I'm excited to do that. I'm also a printable sticker lover. So I do buy sticker kits from shops, but I love printable stickers. I just love that I can customize them and just really print what I need. I can, if they're foil ready sticker kits, I can just go ahead and foil right on my stickers, so I'm not laying down overlays. And I love that for multiple reasons. Sometimes I don't think I'm Russian. I just, for whatever reason, can't lay sticker down straight. So sometimes when I'm putting overlays down and they're crooked, that causes such an issue for me because I can't lift it up, or I'm damaging my sticker, so it stays crooked, and then it just annoys me. So when I can foil directly on my stickers, I love that. That's my preference, so I love to do that. So customizing those sticker kits to just print what you need saves on sticker paper, saves on ink, saves on cutting time, and saves on waste. So again, if you'd like to see how to do that, please let me know, and I will film that and put that up. I've also been thinking about different series to do. I love true crime, so maybe every now and then throwing in like a true crime story while I'm planning instead of talking about just my planner stickers and what I'm laying down. I thought that would be fun. I haven't watched anyone else's videos, but just doing like a quick YouTube search, I did see that other people have posted that. So if that's something you like, let me know and I can start that series. Here I'm using my Rapesco, I think it's a Rapesco, hole punch. I did buy that on Amazon, and if I can find the link, I'll link it down in the description bar below. So I'm just punching holes and everything. I just wanted to make sure that I had the hole punch set up properly and the holes were punching in the right place. So I used that LV foiled vellum as a guide to make sure of that. And then I kept measuring the vellum and the dashboards to make sure again that they were all punching the holes in the proper place. That also is a little bit of a problem for me. I think because at least I can't find like a B6 hole punch. There is like no B6 setting. So I can't even remember what setting I put. Maybe between like an A5 and a person. I don't remember. I'll have to look at that. I don't have the hole punch in front of me, but I had to mess around with it for a good while when I first got it to figure out the settings and see exactly where I had to leave it so that I can punch holes in the appropriate place. Here I'm just taking out my foil so that I can go ahead and foil these two vellums. And again, like I said, I use rose gold foil. No, that's a lie. I use gold foil because that was the color that was used by the artist. So there were what appeared to be like gold mylar balloons in the artwork and things like that. And it really just reminds me of New Year's. So I'm using my mink to foil this vellum. I go between my mink and my, what is that called? My laminator. They both work just as well. I don't know that I would say the mink foils, a ton better than the laminator, and you can really tell the difference. I use the mink more so because I own it and it sits right on my desk. But sometimes when I'm foiling multiple projects, I do go ahead and take the laminator out and use that as well. So I use them both. And like I said, unless you have a Heidi Swap mink, or it's something you really want to get, I don't know that it's necessary. The biggest thing that is necessary for foiling is a laser printer, because the foil sticks to the laser toner when it's activated by the heat. So that's the most important thing, and the most expensive thing that you would need. But really, other than that, I don't even think that, like I said, the mink is necessary over the laminator. I just ran that through quickly. You saw that was in real time. You saw how fast that went through. It takes seconds, and I'm just getting this one ready to go ahead and run that through, and then I'll go ahead and take this foil off so that you can see. Here's the grand reveal. Oh, I just love pulling the foil off after I run it through either the laminator or the Mink for that reveal. It did also, I'm trying to wiggle it so that you can see. It did also foil the champagne on the champagne glasses, and that was accidental. I ran it through the laser printer, so I printed the champagne glasses on my regular inkjet, but when I ran it through my laser, I didn't move the champagne glasses, so what it did was it reprinted over with the laser toner, and that's why it ended up foiling the champagne, which I didn't mind. It was an error, like a mistake on my part, but it worked out perfect. And so that is the This Is My Year. And I don't know if you can see, I'm trying to wiggle again. You can kind of see that the fireworks also foiled. And again, that was by accident, but it worked out great. So although it wasn't on purpose, it worked out. And now I know moving forward that I can use that again that way. This here is a quote that I kept in there. So this is how you can tell I have not done anything with this in such a long time. This setup was probably from the summertime, and that's from Cloth and Paper, and I decided to keep that in there. But it was my setup from like the summertime, and if you look, I think I kind of open up a little bit where you can see there is literally like nothing planned. I don't know if I show you like my weeklies or not, but I may have planned like a week or two, and that's basically it. So I have all of those printed weekly inserts that are empty. They are dated. For some reason I bought dated inserts. So I have not decided if I'm going to just set them aside for now and eventually get back to them, or if I am going to use them moving forward until they're all gone before I print more. I did buy new inserts from Jesenia Printables, which you'll see when I put them in the planner, but I'm really not sure. Like I bought two different ones. So the ones that I bought now are the week on 2 with the fold over, and the ones that I had purchased were week on 3, I believe. So that's my only thing about mixing them at this point, is they're going to be different, and I'm just not sure that I love that. So we'll see. I just printed out the week on 2 with the fold over flap for February, so I know definitely for February I'm going to use that as well, which probably means I'm just going to stick with it, but maybe not. You never know. Maybe when I change my setup next, well, probably not next, because next will be Valentine's Day, I think. Maybe March or April, if I do like a spring one in April, to get me through till the summer one. I don't know, we'll see. Who knows, right? I'm always so undecisive. So these are those weeklies that I know I'm out of frame. You can barely see them, but I'm trying to figure out here how I'm going to set this up, what I want, and I put like the year at a glance first because that's important to me. Like I look back at the dates, when's this day, when's that day, and then if something comes up that is further out than the current month, I can just jot it down. There's lines for every month, so I can just jot it down to remind me. So then when I go ahead and do my monthlies, I'll have all that information there. So that was my year at a glance in 2 pages, and then this was my year at a glance with boxes, and I'm just showing the boxes that, I can go ahead and write down appointments or anything that comes up. And then there's a self-care section that I still have not filled out, and I don't know whether or not I'm going to use it. I am trying or hoping that I'm going to be better about that in 2022, but I'm not a person of resolutions or like new year, new me or anything like that. I think that's great for, for everyone who feels that way. But for me, I just don't want to add pressure to myself or, these expectations, and then I feel like let down by myself when I don't meet them. So I'm trying to avoid that, but being hopeful and just telling myself kind of the things that I would love to be able to do this year. So that's my plan. So next I did go with weekly, so I did monthlies, so year at a glance, and then I did my monthlies, and these are my weeklies that I'm putting in here. And then I went to dailies, and at the end I put the listed section for like list or notes or whatever, where I'll use, like for my grocery list, since this is something that I carry all the time, or I will be carrying all the time with me, I'll have that nearby. And then at the end are online orders. So I'm hoping to be better at filling that in as well, so that I'm not surprised when packages show up, or thinking like, hey, I thought I ordered that, did I order it? And then looking back through like my emails, or going to just so much like just being disorganized, and that's not really me. So hoping to improve in that area and use that up. So here I like messed up for some reason. I set those down, like I separated them to fit everything in the rings, and then I put everything back in and they weren't in order. So here I'm just fixing that. I'm really just excited to be back and to be planning and getting these things together. Really, I'm kind of just excited about that. I did purchase Final Cut Pro, so I'll be using that instead of iMovie, and I'm hoping that I'm still learning Final Cut Pro. It's something new to me. So far it's kind of been like iMovie, only with more options and maybe a little more advanced, but I'm learning and I'll get there. I taught myself how to use iMovie, so that's the great part, or the great thing about YouTube, right? You can find just about anything on there. So going through my dashboards and vellums, I saw my my foiled acetate, and I'm like, oh, I have to use it. It's in gold, my setup is in gold, but I didn't love it layered on top of the January 2022, and then on top of the dashboard of the girl holding the champagne and the balloons. So while I was finding everything else to put in the planner, I was just going through like, I just don't love this setup. How can I make this better? So I do change it up. You'll see here in a minute that I do make some changes, because I just didn't like, it just felt too busy for me, but I had to put it in and take a look to see how I felt, and it just was not doing it for me. So I just went back to kind of see, how else can I set this up. and I just decided to move the January 22 and put it in front of my monthlies, and that way you know, it all fit together. So it was right in front of my monthly, or my year at a glance, and I thought that was perfect since it was the January 2022. And then the foiled acetate on top of the dashboard there fit perfectly, and it was to the side, wasn't really covering anything, so it worked out. Now I'm just flipping through here so you can see exactly how my setup went. These are my monthlies. Again, I purchased these from Justenia Printables, and I filled my January monthly, but it was so bad. It like cut off on me. It just was terrible. It was like one of the first things I sat down to film. So I deleted that, but I think I filmed my February monthly and that was okay. So I will probably edit that and post it. You know, I haven't decided. I'm still trying to work things out, but I did find some things here that I enjoyed. So this was another quote, and again, I don't have it in front of me, so I can't read it, but I decided to put that in the card holder, the card slot. And then that Just Breathe that I think is from Rose Colored Days, perhaps. And I ended up not using it because it was in rose gold. This girl, maybe Capital Chic Design, I feel like is where I got her. I love her. I think she's a badass, and I just had to keep her. Even though I used gold foil, I did use this bow paper clip that's rose gold only because the pink matched my kit. So the foil is a different color, yes, however, the pink matched. So I decided to go with it, and I don't hate it, so I'm keeping it. And then this magnetic clip, it's like an ollie clip. I think I got that from the Sadie Stickers Advent box. I'm pretty sure. So I use that as the marker for my weeklies, and then for my dailies I use this just this white pearl paper clip, and of course it was gold, so it matched nicely. And then I just left the back without a marker. I didn't really have anything else in my collection. That's something I don't have a lot of, are like paper clips or markers. I do have an ollie clip that I got from Cloth and Paper subscription box, I believe, but it was brown or tan and it just didn't really match anything, so I decided not to use it. This is my entire setup. I hope you enjoyed. Please don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Hit the like button. Don't forget to turn on your notification bell so that you can be notified every time I upload a new video. Comment down below what you'd like to see from me. I'm hoping to be consistent this year. So let me know if you want to see those how-tos or that true crime series, and I'll do that. Again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, bye!